Organizational change management is changing dramatically. Here is how to prepare for the new reality. So, here is the visual table of highlighted top departments within your organization and other organizations across the globe, showing how, on average, each department is being impacted or expected to be impacted by organizational changes, including AI, headcount, and cost reduction, business restructuring, and also change transformations. It is important to note this distribution because resistance to change is most likely going to come from the very high and high impact departments. So, for example, human resources, very high impact, marketing and operations, very high impact, finance and accounting, high to very high, customer service and support, high. Facilities, if your organization has a facilities department, then for now, we are looking at a low level of change saturation and also impacts. Product management is ranging between high to very high level of change saturation. IT, again and again, we see very high level of change saturation and impact affecting IT. Sales is another one, very high level of impact. Legal and compliance, we see things going from mid to high. Eventually, there is a possibility that legal and compliance will also start to experience very high level of change saturation. Understanding this picture allows you and also leadership within your organization to prepare the right level of customized change management strategies. The very high and high impact departments are being reshaped most rapidly by AI, automation, and digital transformation. These are where we are seeing the biggest changes in roles, processes, workflows, and expectations. They are also the areas most likely to show resistance to change. The mid impact departments are still being affected, but the changes are more gradual. These departments within your organization are adapting steadily with less disruption. However, they may still need an extended level of change management support to help them adopt the changes. The low impact departments are the ones experiencing the least amount of impacts. Their main functions will remain relatively stable for now, but they should not be overlooked. You want to ensure that you continue to support this department, irrespective of whether it is low level impact, mid level, high level, or very high. The difference is organizations with high and very high level impact should be provided with a more robust change management support. Here is trend one of what is changing. The rise of AI and data driven insights are reshaping how to conduct organizational change management. The rise of AI and data driven insights are fostering breakthroughs in change management. Really, we are seeing very exciting changes to organizational change management. For example, we are seeing tools that can analyze employee sentiment just from communication channels, tools that can predict resistance points and track adoption rates in real time. This provides a level of precision and insight we have never seen before. Something important for you to keep in mind is this: data and artificial intelligence are now at the center of this new era this new exciting era of change management. So here's a question for you. Why is data and artificial intelligence making such an impact on OCM? And don't worry, you don't really have to answer that. Here is why data and artificial intelligence are making such an impact on OCM. The ability to collect and process vast amounts of data allows us, change practitioners, to make more informed, proactive decisions. It is really changing change management from a reactive discipline into a predictive discipline. That is one of the biggest changes that we are seeing with organizational change management, in that it is now becoming more predictive in nature. What does the rise of AI and data driven insights mean for you? It really means that your OCM approach has to go beyond communications, stakeholder engagement, and impacted user training to now include more data analytics for change. To increase your success, you will want to apply predictive analytics, like doing a change saturation assessment to highlight risk before they escalate. Here is an example of insights from a change saturation assessment. Doing a change saturation assessment is out of the scope of today's conversation, but it is a relatively easy process. We have procedures that you can follow step by step to start out by looking at your entire organization and saying, how can I group people into personas? You could group them by departments. You could say, we have 8 departments. And so we are going to say we have 8 personas. For example, legal, human resources, sales, finance. Those could be your personas. Or you could do what I did for today's demo, which is group individuals within job roles. There's a lot of job roles within every organization. So you want to go at a high level. For example, how many VPs do you have? How many directors? How many senior managers? How many managers, supervisors, regular employees, individual contributors, union employees, and also interns? How many do you have? And then you want to take a look at how many projects are impacting these individuals. And then you want to apply a simple scaling. And once again, we do have step-by-step procedures for conducting a change impact assessment. If you're interested in coaching, take a look at the link below this video. But the goal is this: doing a change impact saturation assessment allows you to identify how personas within your organization are being saturated by change. If you find out, for example, union employees, they have a range of high to very high saturation, it tells you that you are most likely going to be running into a lot of resistance with personas that are experiencing a lot of change saturation. All right. So we just talked about applying insights from predictive assessments like change saturation assessments as a way for you to stay relevant in the new change management reality and era. Here is another one. You want to ensure that you are utilizing and also socializing dashboards and KPIs to help leaders as well as yourself and your team make better decisions fast. As an example, here is the OCM solution, OCM Porter, that includes a portfolio overview dashboard. Now, this dashboard looks at all of the different projects that are being implemented within an organization. At a holistic level, it shows that 47% of the entire organization is being impacted. It also outlines out of the 11 projects, one project is impacting customers. And there is one project that is considered high risk. In addition, this holistic, and whenever I say holistic, I'm talking about the portfolio level. This holistic view is something that leadership, they often want to see. They want to see across the organization how the different projects are impacting specific groups and departments. They also want to see the number of things that are impacting individuals per project, per severity. So, for example, you can see this project here called Change Initiative. There are 6 things that are changing with a low impact. There are 6 things that are changing with a mid-level impact. And then there are 17 things that are changing with a high-level impact. Here, this dashlet shows the number of individuals that are being impacted by projects. So when you present your report to your leadership, you want to ensure that you are capturing these types of portfolio level reports. There is a lot more. For example, the severity of stakeholder being impacted. Depending on the change management software you are using, you want to capture this level of information, severity of stakeholder impact. There are other types of reports you also want to show to your leadership. If the change management software you are using shows the readiness level per project, you also want to show that to your leadership because it is important for them to know how their people, their employees are ready for a particular change. This one here signifies resistance. Every project experiences some level of resistance. And so, what you want to do, you want to make sure that if the change management software you are using shows this level of stakeholder receptiveness, you want to present that to your leadership. For example, Change Initiative is one project, and that shows that there are 5 stakeholders within that project. 3 of them have low receptiveness, which means, or which can be equal to 3 stakeholders have the possibility of resisting or the potential of resisting if they are not already resisting. 2 have mid-level receptiveness. For a project to be successful, you want to see high level of receptiveness to that particular project. The rise of AI and data-driven insights was the first trend that organizations are experiencing in 2025. Trend 2 is even more important for you to watch, and it involves a lot of organizations are now moving to agile change management. If your organization has not transitioned already, don't worry. Don't be surprised if you get an email from your leadership over the next few weeks or months saying that they need you and the team to transition to agile change management. Watch the next video for why and how you can prepare.